Do not be ashamed of your experience. Do not be ashamed of your scar. Your scar is proof that you were once injured, but now it is healed. And scars they are omens and instruments of glory in the realm of the spirit. Let no man trouble me. He says, for I bear upon my body. There are believers who are too innocent to carry some anointings. No. You know, I've shared with you my story that one time I was diagnosed of a fungal infection. It ate my entire head like this. Hair was not supposed to grow on this head you are seeing. This is a miracle. I don't doubt whether miracles happen or not. It's ever before me. My head is a miracle, and it's not a proverb. It's an experience that will live with me forever. So I don't join any arguments that I don't have time for all of that. This man you see, I've slept on speaker, I've slept on amplifier. A car has jammed me on the road before. They said, hold him, he will be mad. I got up and I said, what is going on here? People were surprised that I didn't die, my legs did not break. That the kind of car that hit me, my legs should not even be on. It should pieces everything. They scrubbed my head with this iron sponge that you use to wash the back of the pot. See, this apostle thing is not title, though. Let me tell you sincerely. So when the Bible says he was wounded for our transgression, sincerely I have something to relate with that pain in my life. I didn't wear the crown, but I felt something that was close to the thorns. Iron sponge on this head you are seeing, and blood was dripping down. Now let me tell you something. I don't believe God causes these things, but anything in your life that can bring God glory, He will use it. God will never allow anything pass that He can use, for we know that all things, for we know. Are we together? When a man said, I will marry you, and your pastor said, pray and declare that God goes before me, he said, don't worry. And the man says, I won't marry you again. When it happens once, twice, you will learn that there is a place of prophecy in manifesting destiny. The next time a man of God says, let me speak over your life, you will not look at your physical results, because the things that we see as subject, they can change. There are people who are, it's the reason why when you see in conferences like this, notice that most of the people who cry and stand up are the pastors. They know what they are going through. Sometimes members are too innocent. It will be after 3-5 years before they understand what the man is saying. But what sometimes the man of God is teaching is what the pastor is experiencing now. For instance, you say rent or venue, and man say yes, so yes, so someone here already has his father. Your father suffered for you, built a house. So there is no way of receiving that blessing, because there is no experience that necessitates faith for it. Are we together? I was almost being locked in a police station because I could not afford 150,000 naira to pay for sound after our crusade. So when I found out that there is a name God is called Jehovah Jireh, I took it personal, because there was memory in my mind. And I said, no, I cannot live my life moving from police station to police station simply because bills are not met. And I sat down, I said, Lord, show me your way. Let's settle this thing so that I can serve you truthfully. I don't want to have to tell lies and manipulate anybody tomorrow because of hunger. Hunger always takes Israel to Egypt. Are we together? Your experience. Look at me. Many of you, it is your experience that brought you here now. There are people who stood in front of the board as students, and it was as if you were blind. What am I seeing? In my dream, I saw 4.1. What is this one? I failed this. I failed that. I failed this. I failed that. You didn't know how to pray before. When you saw 4 carryovers, you didn't even know where the road to your room was again. You just went straight to a forest somewhere and came back after 2 days. Remember, you didn't believe you could do it. But that experiences, especially painful experiences, they open up your spiritual potentials. The things you could do but have not been pressured, like wine and oil comes out when you thresh the wine or thresh the olive. Not every experience is to your detriment. Let me tell you, there are things that will have to push you. I didn't have any support structure for ministry. No uncle, nobody. So when I prayed, I didn't pray just for convenience. I knew that if this thing didn't work, I don't know any of my uncle who is a senator anywhere. I don't have any. My uncles are dead. The relatives, almost everybody who can help me is dead. So when I saw a scripture that said, woe to him that puts his strength in a man, I believed it early. Listen to me. We are praying. What have you gone through? Don't think it is a thing of shame. It's God being revealed even through your pain. Are we together? The thing that causes you pain today is what you will be proud of tomorrow. Pain has monetary value. Pain has a message. There are books today that came out of pain. There are ministries today that came out of pain. There are levels of compassion that only pain can bring. Why should you minister to the sick? Why should you bless people? Why should you pay for orphans and widows? That's a waste of money. I pray that it does not happen to you. But there are people who, when it happens to them and they lose a loved one, they will find out that after 2 years they are not yet back. And they now say, how did this woman survive losing 4 children in one day? Then you will now remember Job. That Job lost everything in one day and still gave God glory. You will now go back to God and say, God, I now know. In my life, be glorified. Be glorified. In my life, be glorified. Be glorified. Let me tell you how I became bold praying for the sick. Let me close my Bible. Our early crusades, we spend time praying, drive prayer, drive fasting, doing all kinds of trainings. And I remember the first crusade, I'm not sure there were up to 50 people. Can you imagine that level of disappointment? Praying, fasting. The visions I saw was not 50 people. God, is it that I didn't hear you well? I remember when I hear things like this, I say it boldly. I made boastful statements in the Lord. And we went on that crusade ground and people were entering as if they were entering a shop to buy something and go. I said, my God, how could I be so anointed and people despise this grace? Please listen to what I'm telling you. I didn't know that it was going to be a revelation. Don't run away. Some doors are ugly, but the other side of that door is glory. Learn this. Because the people were few. There was no way of praying in mass. Be healed to who? How many? So we now said, let the sick come. And in that village, almost everybody was sick. As you made, I'm not sure of anybody who came that did not come out. And most of them were old women. If they are not healed, they will not tell you they are healed. They will not lie. You know, a young person can respect you, see all the sacrifice, what you have done in ministry, and decide to help you. These precious ones will say, no, the pain is still here. Listen, I'm not sure we were prepared for the kinds of cases that they were going to bring. I remember the first day after motivating my ladies, they all came and surrounded one woman who was deaf and dumb. They prayed. They prayed. I know they had faith. I don't know what happened. They prayed and prayed. The woman was angry. She left disappointed, sincerely. But what was shame was our faith being built. By the third day, I remember clearly the final night of that crusade. I was ministering. Honestly, I'm not sure if I even knew the woman would be healed. I mean, the embarrassment had happened, so what is to be, there's nothing to be ashamed of again. And while I was ministering, it was like a joke. All of a sudden, the power of God touches that woman and her mouth is open, the ears open, and I'm standing before a miracle. And I'm seeing for the first time in my life that deaf ears completely open and the tongue unlocked is a real miracle. You know, when you hear it, it looks like it's just a simple miracle. You try it. It's a solid miracle. I'm already in pastor's conference now. Oh, forgive me, dear people. That miracle brought glory to the name of the Lord. I learned how to trust God through pain. There were times when I knew that everything the Bible said to do, I did. But there was no breakthrough. The heavens didn't seem to open. I have done everything sincerely. Knowing what I know today, I can still tell you what I did was right. But why was the heaven still closed? I didn't know that if the cloud be full of rain, so that every time your obedience is adding up, it may not come one day, but it's being honored in heaven. I didn't know there's something in the realm of the spirit called the law of process, and that the law of process is not delay. It is just the timings of God based on your call. I prayed needless prayers that I would have turned to praise today. There were many petitions that came out of ignorance. I casted. Now, knowing what I know, I would have just been dancing around. So today, if God shows me something and it does not come, I don't waste my time. Oh God, are you? That's what growth is all about. I know this now. See, you should be able to pray with someone who just got born again, and the content of your prayer should already show. That person is there, say, "Abba God, I'm talking to you," and you are just praying and say, "Lord, thank you. Thank you, and I bless you, I bless you, I bless you." And while he's saying that, the landlord's call is coming. And you are still saying, "Lord, I give you all the praise. Thank you." And you are discussing destiny matters. Whereas by the next day, they are going to take you out of the house. And the person you are with is praying and say, "Oh God, help this my master." And you are not even praying about it. And the person is saying, why? Because there is something that you know. That there is something called the namesake of God, his reputation. I've said it that whoever takes the glory must take the shame. God cannot take the glory and I take the shame. The equation is not balanced. If I'm vocal about giving him the glory, then if he does not honor me, he must be willing to receive the shame.